Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel, checking out today's video. Guys, today we're going to have a discussion why black and blue jigs are so effective since they don't resemble anything in nature out there. I'm going to sort of give you guys my opinion on it here, talk a little bit about it, and also give you guys some tips and advice on when, under what conditions a black and blue jig works again. So we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, I just wanted to invite everybody out there, if you haven't had a chance, to please consider subscribing here to The Fishing Teacher. That's a good way to support the channel, as well as using all the links that we put in the description if you guys are interested in giving something back. And also, we have set up a Patreon page for The Fishing Teacher too. If you guys want to be part of that, just go to the description of the video. Much appreciated. Okay guys, this is one of the longest standing colors in bass fishing out there. Black and blue, whether it be a jig or, some type of a creature bait or, any type of a jig or soft plastic lure out there, black and blue has been a mainstay for decades and decades and decades. So why is it? Why has black and blue risen sort of to the top when people think in terms of like fishing jigs and a lot of different creature baits? Why is black and blue everybody's go-to? Because look at that thing. You tell me what in nature resembles a black and blue jig. There's nothing out there in nature that resembles that. So I sort of want to give you my theory on this as far as, why it works and everything. First of all, I got to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure. I really, when you try to intellectualize why a certain color works, we try to reference it from our point of view as far as our senses as a human being. And a bass simply has a different set of senses. So we can theorize a little bit, but we can't really, crawl into a bass's mind and understand what causes them to actually ignore a lure or bite a lure out there. So I really don't know why they bite a black and blue jig, with the exception of the fact that it silhouettes a little bit. A dark colored jig will silhouette in the water a little bit more and stand out under certain conditions. And that's what you really have to have for a black and blue jig or a black and blue lure of any color to work, is you have to have a certain set of conditions. First of all, one of the things that you're going to find out that black and blue is not a clear water color. Not to say that you can't catch them on it, because a bass will hit anything, at certain times, but for the most part, you're not going to catch many fish on a black and blue jig if that water visibility is greater than 3 feet. I have found in my own personal experience that the ideal water clarity for a black and blue jig is sort of in that 1 to 2 foot range. And then there's some conditional things that go along with that. For example, if you're dealing with dirty water, like water visibilities of less than 1 foot, under those conditions, a black and blue jig will work real well, especially if you have a brighter type of a day, like some type of a sunny or partly cloudy day. And that is even more critical as the water visibility decreases. So if you get down into that water visibility of like that 4 to 6 inch range, you really need some type of sun in order to position those fish in that dirty water and give them a little bit better visibility in that dirty water. But if the water clarity is more towards the 2 foot zone, then the opposite is true. Sometimes the black and blue jig will work better on cloudy days, on darker days in that cleaner water. So it's all sort of relative to the combination of the light intensity and the water clarity that you have. Now, another thing that's really critical with a black and blue jig is the color of trailer that you use on it. Now, I use 3 different colors of trailers with the black and blue jig, depending upon the conditions we have. If the water is really dirty, like if the water is less than 12 inches visibility, I'm using a black trailer with it. So I want to get the maximum amount of silhouette. If the water visibility is sort of like around 2 foot, I'm going to use a blue trailer, like a sapphire blue trailer, because it's a little bit more subtle, looks a little bit better in the water, doesn't quite stand out quite so much. And then if the water visibility is closer to 3 foot, I'm using a green pumpkin trailer. This is one thing a lot of people don't use on a black and blue jig, guys, but a black and blue jig with a green pumpkin trailer on it is a really good combination if you have around 3 foot of water visibility. But only, guys, I guess we don't really have to understand or explain it. I just know it works. A black and blue jig is a great lure or creature bait or whatever. It's been catching them forever, and it will continue to catch them. So just know that. Know when you put one on, you got a good chance of catching a bass. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.